How's it going? I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to go over the one trade that I took on SPY. I took some puts pretty close to the open of the day on the break and retest of the pre-market low. Ended up getting a little over 20% return. But before we get into that trade, we're on the daily time frame here looking at SPY. A few of the levels that came into play are this 433 that happened to also be right near the low of yesterday. 471.6, this yellow level is a pre-market low. We'll get into that in just a second. And then 470.5 or so, 0.6. We'll hop down into, we can jump to the 5-minute. Some of the things I was looking for, we had gapped down overnight from yesterday. Yesterday's low day here around 473. You can see we showed weakness throughout the after hours and pre-market, opening up well over $1 below yesterday's low a day. So a gap down, showing some weakness. We've been kind of falling the past couple days, been in a downtrend. So first thoughts were that we might fill that gap from yesterday, and then continue down. You can see that almost happened today, but didn't quite. But what we did do in the beginning of the day, in the morning, is we showed some weakness right off the open. So we have this pre-market low here. We also have this level that I was watching, this 471.6. Broke below both, came up to retest, and I took puts on this candle here. So usually this is a bit closer to the open than I usually trade. I usually wait a few minutes, probably 15, 30 minutes or so, to let some direction show. However, we were looking weak. We gapped down. We did not find support in an area where I expected us to find support, and we had broken through. So on this retest here, I took two puts. I took one on the retest of this 471.6. I took another at the retest of the pre-market low there. That happened to pretty much be the high of this move. Before we dropped down, I sold one contract as we were approaching the low where we'd bounced from, and held another and sold somewhere down in here. Pretty quick trade for me today, and it's the only trade that I took, so not a huge day trading for me. I think showing this 2-minute chart will explain a lot of things in terms of why I didn't take any other trades on the day. But this is how the 2-minute looked. Looked like we might hold that pre-market low and then immediately broke below. We found a bottom, came up, tested this level. I was fully in at this point, took one contract here, took another contract here. I sold my first contract on this candle here as we were pushing down towards the low a day. And I sold my second contract somewhere down in here as we were pushing down. I think it might have been in here. Reason being, we're just seeing some momentum die down. We weren't really getting any breaks lower. We were starting to show some longer wicks on the bottom and not really moving price much. We'd come down, reverse, come down, reverse. And so I got out somewhere in here, and I'm glad I did, because quickly after this would have stopped out my runner, most definitely. Had we pushed all the way up, that would have stopped my runner out at break even. So that was the quick trade, only in it for maybe less than 10 minutes, but it was a little over 20%, about 22% total return, so pretty solid on that. The rest of the day, you can see that we kind of just chopped around. I mean, between here and I guess it's not letting me draw here. Price didn't really do a whole lot. It was pretty choppy. You had some spikes in volume that showed some buying pressure. Then price would just come back down, then spike up, and then come back down. So trading options in here, if you're holding it for any period of time, probably just got eaten by decay or time decay theta. We finally did get a breakout of this area, kind of came down, retested here, but we didn't even set a new high here. You can see that we made almost a triple top before reversing and having a little bit of a downtrend for a good amount of the day. I suppose some of the best moves were probably on this downtrend if you caught maybe this portion. But yeah, overall, the beginning of the day, pretty ugly. You could swing trade some of these spikes or some of these drops, absolutely, and make a decent return. But no clear trend. Not a clear trend. Not really breaking and retesting key levels. So I only took that one trade, that break and retest at the pre-market low. Felt pretty good about that. I was really looking to hope to get down to that 470.64 on my runner, but once we started to slow down in volume and show inability for about 6-8 minutes straight to make a new low, I decided to get out of that position. That's the one trade I took. Today was a bit of a snooze. I guess there's some bigger moves later in the evening. But the morning wasn't too great. I guess we did uptrend, but over the course of 2 hours or so, we maybe went up $1.50. So it was a bit of a slower day. That's all I have for you. I appreciate you watching. I do trade live every Monday through Friday, so I will be back for the rest of the week. Feel free to come join if you feel so inclined. That's all. Hope you have a great rest of your day. All right, peace.